I just wanted to pop on here and give you an update for one of what's happening in Israel while everybody was watching the solar eclipse yesterday. We had some uh, key developments happen over there. Um, and I'll show you that. But then also, I wanted to give a little something that God showed me back in 2018. I'm not sure exactly he gave me a date of Sivan 11 on the biblical map, but he didn't really show me too much about it. But I'll get more into that here in just a little bit whenever we talk about it. But first, I want to give the update on what's going on in Israel. Because this is pretty key on what's happening over there right now and what's going to come in the future. So, for the state of Israel. So we'll start with that. I was watching CBN News this morning, the 700 Club from yesterday video that they did. So I'm going to play just a little bit of this so you can see there's been a major shift in the war over there. And some people are speculating that this is because of the pressure that the United States has put on Israel. But I'm going to play a little bit of this and as we watch Israel, because it's our biblical timepiece over there. So let's watch this real quick.
Welcome to the 700 Club. A major shift in the war against Hamas. Israel has pulled out a key division from southern Gaza. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared that victory is a step away.
Yesterday marked 6 months since the October 7th Hamas invasion. Hostage families gathered together in Jerusalem and Washington, D.C. to demand the release of their loved ones. CBN's Chris Mitchell has more.
Israel's defense minister Yoav Gallant says the pullout is a sign that Hamas is severely weakened as a fighting force.
Hamas ceased to function as a military organization throughout the Gaza Strip.
But within an hour, Hamas terrorists were firing rockets at 7 Israeli communities from the area the IDF troops had just left.
On the tactical level, what you can read into it is that the IDF is pulling out troops in order to get them some rest and time to reorganize in order to be prepared for the next stage of missions. That's one way of looking at it.
Jonathan Conricus, a former IDF spokesman and a lieutenant colonel in the reserves, says that next stage of mission would be an invasion of Rafah. He also says the move can be seen as a result of American pressure.
There was a few days ago an important and reportedly heated conversation between the president and the prime minister, and demands were made, and you could think that what Israel is doing now is an implementation of those demands.
Conricus says the IDF is also preparing for a greater conflict with Hezbollah.
Time will have to tell, and we will have to wait which one of the options it was, but it could be either one or a combination of all.
Still, as fighting reaches the 6-month mark, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sees the elimination of Hamas just ahead.
We're marking today 6 months of war. We're one step away from victory.
Netanyahu and Gallant insist on an invasion of Rafah, where Hamas's last intact battalions are holding up. As it has for weeks, the White House disagrees.
All I can do is say what I said before. We don't support a major ground operation in Rafah. That has not changed. And we're looking forward to having conversations with the Israelis about alternatives to those kinds of operations.
Some families of hostages held in Gaza mark the 6-month anniversary of their captivity at demonstrations in Washington and Jerusalem. Hostage mother Rachel Goldberg Poland told CBS Face the Nation she's in D.C. to find what more can be done to free the hostages.
What levers need to be pulled in order to make this happen? Because 6 months is actually a complete failure on everybody's part, and we are feeling extreme desperation, despair.
Netanyahu says his government won't buckle to international pressure on a ceasefire without freedom for the hostages.
I made it clear to the international community there will be no ceasefire without the return of hostages. It just won't happen.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
There's one simple 20-second rub ritual that.
Okay. So basically, we've got the IDF has pulled out one of their major troops over there, and there's only like basically one battalion that's left over there of the IDF that was guarding the roadways to the northern Gaza part, so that Hamas can't get back up through the northern where all them tunnels and everything's at, basically. And if you look over here on the calendar, the biblical calendar, this happened the same day as all America was sitting and watching the total eclipse yesterday. This is whenever this happened. Was yesterday and into yesterday evening. And in 14 days is at sunset is going to be the start of Passover. And then they'll start counting the Omer up to the day of Pentecost. So we watch and see what develops from this. But I mean, soon as Israel started pulling out troops, the first thing Hamas did is start firing rockets. So, I mean, Hamas does not want this war to end. I'm just saying. They don't want it. They say that they want it to end because they're trying to get everybody's sympathy. But then soon as Israel starts backing off, they start trying to hit Israel with rockets again. So, I mean, action speaks for itself. Their actions speak for itself. I'm going to go into this about Sivan 11th prophecy that God showed me. I mean, he didn't show me a whole lot. It was just a really small dream in it. And I didn't even post it that it was a dream. I mean, you can see in the comment that God is the one that gave me this date, but I'll go into exactly what I saw in the dream. It was like a really short dream. It was back in 2018. It was on April 22nd. I had two dreams that night, or that I woke up to on April 22nd. That I woke up twice that night. The first one was I just seen the word Sivan 11 is what I seen, and Sivan is the third biblical month. So it would have been the 11th day of the third biblical month, which I'll show you on the calendar here shortly where that's at. And he was very adamant in the dream, specifying that it started at sunset the evening before. So I've been watching this date every year because I'm not sure exactly what is going to happen. I mean, I know I had another dream, which I'll share it here shortly. And I don't know if they're connected or not, but I did have both dreams the same night because whenever I went back to sleep, I had the second dream. So, and I'll be sharing it just here shortly. I don't know if they're connected. They could be because of having them on the same night. And then again, they may not be. But I had made this comment because somebody had asked me, what about Sivan 11th? What's going to happen? And I just said the Lord just pointed the date to the date of Sivan 11 and stressed about it starting at sunset the night before. Said could be this year, next year, or after sometimes. So we watched like he instructed. And I told him, God bless. So I mean, it's just, I didn't know what year. I was not given a year. I was just shown that date. So apparently this date, Sivan 11th on his biblical calendar, is a significant date. I don't know if it's an upcoming event or what. I've searched like the history of past things that has happened on Sivan 11th. And let's see, this year, Sivan 11th, I think it's in June. Yeah, it'll be after Pentecost, the day of Pentecost. It'll be after that holiday. It falls on um, June 17th this year. So, and what's wild that I noticed whenever I put it on this year's calendar is that Sivan 11th also falls 70 days after the eclipse. Exactly 70 days after the eclipse. So I thought that was wild. But anyway, nothing may not even come out of it this year. It may not be until, like I said, till next year or some year afterwards. So I don't know. It's just a high watch date for everybody to watch. So I'm putting it on here so that y'all can watch as well for this date, because it'll definitely be a watch date. And I think that somehow it's connected with Israel, and I'll explain more of that here because of what God showed me about Sivan 11th. In 2018, May 25th was the Sivan 11th, and he did show me some information about it. And I had posted this on the date. It says they are going to get swept away by their own tsunami they have created. It says, I prayed today before I took a nap for the Lord to show me what he wanted me to watch for this Sivan 11th. I said, I was shown the protesting against Israel, and I was shown a tsunami wave coming over a man and sweeping him away. And then I had ran across an article right after that because God showed me in a dream a wave coming over a man and sweeping him away. And I was shown protesting, like major protesting against Israel. And that's what we're seeing right now. And it was, it had to do with the Palestinians. So let me show you the rest of that, because I took a screenshot of the bottom half of it here. The rest of that, the bottom part. Because it says I was shown protesting against Israel. And then around at that same time, on that date of Sivan 11th, and maybe he just wanted me to watch Sivan 11th so that he could show me this, that there was going to be major protesting against Israel. And I was shown a tsunami wave coming over a man and sweeping him away. And then I came across this, which is very the other side opinion. And it says, that roaring sound? It says it's Palestine unleashing a legal tsunami against Israel war crimes, which they have been hollering Israel war crimes for a long time. They've been trying to get the Jews out of their own country over there for a long time. Let's just face it. And they have everything that they do, they try to point the finger at Israel, but anytime somebody points a finger, they always have more fingers pointing back at themselves. So that's what my grandma used to say. So, but it was just an opinion thing, but it had to do with Palestine, and it was protesting against Israel, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And then on that same night that he gave me the dream that I was shown Sivan 11th, but I was specifically shown that it starts at sunset. So, and I haven't seen anything that has to do with that sunset where he was specifying. And it's like, yes, he did show me this about Sivan 11th. And whenever I woke up that morning, but at sunset, nothing has actually happened as that, because he stressed sunset, the sunset the evening before, which on the calendar, that would be this evening right here on the 16th. That evening is the start of Sivan 11th. So I watch it every year. I watch this date every single year and the sunset before, to see what happens. That same night, he did give me another dream, and it was a Lion of Judah dream too. But we'll go over this because he showed me some other things too. This was on Sunday, April 22nd, whenever I woke up that morning, and I posted it. It says, "The Lion of Judah is coming out of his habitat and fixing to roar. Be prepared for his coming. Repent and make your garments clean." It says, "Last night I had been doing lawn work and went outside." This was the evening before I had any of these dreams. It says, "There was hardly no clouds in the sky, but I noticed clouds in the west right at sunset. That was different from any other clouds I have seen before." And remember, this happened, I noticed this really happened. I mean, I wasn't dreaming this. This part I was not dreaming. It actually happened the night before I went to bed. And it says, "They were right over the sun setting in the west and was huge and in the shape of ancient Hebrew letters. I looked up the letters and put them into translator, and it said the meaning was to be bereaved and mourning." It says, "When these things like this happen, I always take them to the Lord and ask him what it is exactly that he's trying to show or tell me, because I don't want to get his messages wrong. God forbid." It says, "I always want to put forth exactly what he wants." Well, I went to bed and had a dream. And in the dream, I seen the Lion of Judah coming around a bend, coming out of his habitat. And that bend that he was coming around, it was like really narrow. It was like a real narrow path. And you remember in the Bible, it talks about walking the narrow path, because wide is the path to destruction. He was on a real narrow path, and he was coming around a bend. It was like a real narrow path coming around, like you would see a lion walking around like a cliff's edge on a narrow path. That's what it was. And he was coming out of his habitat where he had been resting at. And it says, "The most beautiful and powerful that I've ever seen before, majestic, royal." And I'm telling you, it was the most beautiful lion that I have ever seen. I mean, it's hard to explain and describe this lion that I seen. I mean, I knew in the dream, I knew it was the Lion of Judah. And I put down, it's hard to even put in words, because it was. And then I put, "The west will tremble and be bereaved in mourning. They shall walk after the Lord. He shall roar like a lion when he shall roar, and the children shall tremble from the west." This is actual scriptures in Hosea 11 and 10 that I found that the Lord led me to after this stuff happened. And I remember I seen the sun setting in the west, and then seen the ancient Hebrew letters, and I put them in the translator to find out what the meaning was. And it says to be bereaved and mourning. And then right after that, I had a dream of the Lion of Judah. And then I didn't know these. I mean, this was the first time I had ever read this right here from Hosea 11 and 10. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. And, God will lead you right back to his word to show and to confirm what he's showing you. It says, the west will tremble and be bereaved in mourning, and they shall walk after the Lord. He shall roar like a lion. When he shall roar, then the children shall tremble from the west. And it says, and one of the elders said unto me, weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof. We are so close, people. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. We're so close to the coming of the Lord. I mean, it's so close. It's so close. We're so close. And what have we been seeing? I mean, here in the United States, we have seen so many protesting against Israel because of the Palestinians, exactly what God has been showing. What he's been showing me and many others for years. These things that was going to come to pass, and they are starting to come to pass right now. So it's just so close. We just need to repent, make sure that our garments are white, and stay close to the Lord and draw nigh to him, because he is coming back. He is coming back, and he is coming back as the Lion of Judah, the King of all kings. So I just hope everyone was blessed by this, and there were several times that I had this prophecy about the Lion of Judah ready to, release it in a couple other videos, but God stopped me because it wasn't time yet. But now it's time now, because he knew he wanted this prophecy to be laid out. So, and it most likely, it probably is connected to the Sivan 11th. So, because I had it in the same night. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that it probably is connected, both of them connected together. But as this year comes up, like I said, it's just a watch date to watch and see what happens, because it will be right in the middle, or right after it'll be right after Pentecost, and after the counting of the Omer that counts up, that the Bible talks about, counting the 49 days and the 50th day being Pentecost, from Passover to Pentecost. So I hope all of y'all have a blessed day, and it's a beautiful time to be alive. It really is, for us that know how the book ends. And it's not like any other book out there, that's for sure. God is amazing. That's all I got to say. He is so amazing, and he's so wonderful to show us what is ahead, and so to guide our steps through these times. But I just hope all of you have a blessed day, and I'll be talking to you soon, and putting out some more videos, God willing. I love you all, and have a wonderful day today.